Okay, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off here. So, something about the underground. Open to them. I think they think these people have gone to the underground. I concur. It's the one place the Legion can't get to. The cracks in the defenses you mentioned. I have no doubt the Triad is aware of that weakness. Okay, so this is what they meant. Because the Legion can make that huge shield, you know, that can sense when people go in and out. But apparently they can't do that in the underground because the catacombs and everything are sensitive to psi. Which is why we're mobilizing all the high-ranked teams and going to check it out in person. We'll enter at access points around the city and form a spiderweb of search teams to see if we can catch them before they make it out of Brazil. I sighed, rubbing my head. Yet another weird thing I have to learn about, I guess. There is a lot to learn, and it will likely take longer than a couple months for you to learn it all. Thanks, Ari. Thank you for the encouragement. I'll say. There will be time for you in a while. Wait. There will be time to fill you in while we get ready. We don't actually know how many people are involved in this or what we'll find down there. You all know what it's like to work here, or to work there. We'll be very, very cautious. Magnus doesn't have any research in the underground at all, so we'll be on our own. Not any research, any reach. Okay, so even Magnus has no, which is interesting that Magnus has no reach in the underground, because they said that it's technology based in the last episode, but I don't know exactly what that means. Let's do it. Ooh, look at her outfit. She looks so cool. Being cautious meant foregoing our normal casual uniforms and diving into the uncomfortable body armor the research division created for us. They were flexible and lightweight. It also felt like they were squeezing the life out of you. I bet that looks tight. Like, that looks like a straight up bodysuit. I hadn't worn mine at all and still needed help getting into it, which is how Vaughn and I ended up in my flat with her laughing at me while I cursed my way into the stupid thing. It was probably great when you were getting shot at. It was stupid it was so hard to put on. Oh, and look at Vaughn. She looks good too. I mean, they both look, you know, like they're ready to lay down. Not like that, like they're ready to kick butt. Kick butt. It's not the most comfortable thing. But for missions like this, it's better to be safe than not safe. I just wish it was all in one piece so I didn't have to figure out which part goes where. Oh no, there's multiple pieces? Yeah, that would be a nightmare then. It makes the suit more capable of adjusting its strength during a fight or something like that. You'll get used to it. She pressed a small button at the lower back and the loose torso piece tightened, snugly conforming to my body shape, just like being vacuum sealed inside. She helped me shrug into the piece that covered both arms. It sealed itself onto the rest of the suit as soon as the edges made contact with each other. And that's it. The suit connects to your neural system through the spine, so you can make slight adjustments if you want. She stepped back and gave me a once-over with a smug grin. You look great. I'm sure Ari will approve. I mean, Caleb too. But let's be real. You only care about Ari's opinion anyway. I mean, she's not wrong. You know, but yeah. I think in my ranking, I ranked Caleb because I've done 4 routes so far, and I liked Caleb's more than Ari. So I mean, I care what Caleb thinks, but in this route, she probably only cares what Ari thinks. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, I think she's blushing. I mean, she wasn't wrong though. Oh, I'm sure you know what that's supposed to mean. This is the last thing on my mind right now, and besides, I doubt Ari will care that much. It's not like we're, girl, we're all psychics here. You can't hide this kind of thing from us, so don't even try to. Yeah, that would be one of the downsides to living with people with all these psychic abilities. You couldn't hide shit. Especially after the other night. Trust me. Probably everyone on the floor is aware of you two. Blowing off some steam, as it were. Oh, God. What? Aware of what? Oh, my God. What? Juan burst out laughing, then reached for me again, felt fast in the collar. Kidding. I'm kidding. Are you really kidding, though, Juan? Like, now I wonder. Though, as your neighbors, I have to admit, Mara and I were definitely aware. I'm going to kill you. Though it wasn't like I hadn't been aware of the goings-on in their flat occasionally, too. Great. I saw Ari leaving your flat the next morning, too, so that helped. He did not tell me that. Not that he'd think he should, I guess. Ron grinned and gave me a quick hug. I'm happy for you both. Listen, Morgan, setting that aside, are you going to be okay for the mission today? I know I keep asking you that, but this hits close to home for you in a lot of ways, with New Albion, Trent. If you need to sit this one out. Okay, so we can say, I can't sit at every mission I don't like. It'd be nice if they'd let me get away with that, or no, I have to do this. I'm torn between 1 and 3. I think I'm going to go with 1. I can't sit out every mission I don't like. Well, you can't really sit out any mission that you don't like, to be honest. I feel like the responses between 1 and 3 are very similar. But I'm going to go with 1 because I feel like with 3, she's sort of taking ownership of like, oh, you know, I have this connection to Trent, so I have to do this. And I don't feel like that, you know, I don't agree with that, so I'm going to go with 1. I appreciate the offer, but I can't sit out every mission. Even if it hits close to home, I have to get used to this stuff. But this guy, Trent, if he was in any way involved in that attack, then he has to be held accountable. I don't want to think anyone I know is capable of that, but the rest of you also have to face someone who was a member of Endgame and betrayed the organization. I'm sure that's also hitting close to home. Well, it's not like I personally knew that kid or anything, but I guess you're right. I feel like everyone keeps trying to baby me because of how I joined up. How it was so sudden, and that I don't have the same amount of training. Well, I mean, you don't, Morgan. But that can't last forever. I've seen firsthand how serious this job really is, and I feel like it's unfair if I don't treat it with the seriousness it deserves. The best of you don't get to run away, or take a day off, or sit it out when it gets rough. I don't think I should be able to do that either. And see, this is a sentiment that I agree with. Because, you know, like, it's dangerous for everybody. And, yeah, like, Trent's involved in this one, but Morgan has a really good point here. Ever since, especially on Ari's route, I don't remember if this happens, on Caleb's route as well. But specifically, like, in this one, it seems like they really sort of try to be like, no, don't send her out. She's not ready yet. Which is, like, sweet of them and nice. But it's also sort of, like, she has, like, at this point, she's been training for months. She needs to be in the field. Because, like, there are only so many things you can teach in this sort of, like, controlled environment. A lot of things you have to learn just by doing them. Vaughn's face softened into a gentle smile, and I was struck by just how much of a close friend she'd become to me. I love Vaughn. Like, at first I wasn't sure what to make of her, because she was so, like, blunt with her opinions. But now I really appreciate it, and I really like her. Another person I'd have never met if I hadn't come here. You've come a long way, haven't you? I still have a long way to go, but I guess it's good I've at least started moving forward, right? I can't wait to see Ari's face when he gets a look at you in that. Wow, I have whiplash from the way that conversation just changed. I think you're overestimating his reaction, and that isn't why I'm wearing this. My philosophy is to enjoy every single moment I'm given, no matter what else is going on. It may not be the point, but it's still going to be fun. Ari's face barely moves, no matter what he's feeling. Oh, really? No matter what? Okay, Vaughn. Damn it, Vaughn. That is not what I'm talking about. She laughed again. You're way too much fun to tease. And I've known Ari for years. You learn to pay attention to the details, like if he breaks eye contact, means he's flustered. Geez, you need a hobby. Damn, Morgan. Oh, look at everybody else in their suits. Ari looks great. I mean, so does Caleb, but you know. Vanessa and I were the last two to arrive. Finally, we were about to send out a search party. Calm down, we're here now. Are you ready? We'll be teleporting in 2 groups. I'm ready, yeah. After that stupid conversation with Vaughn, I was feeling self-conscious in this incredibly form-fitting uniform. I swear I can feel her secondhand embarrassment through the screen. I also looked quite good in it. I mean, he does. He looks great. He studied me for a moment. I couldn't help but watch him for any reaction. Oh no! Now she's becoming like hypersensitive to his reactions because of the conversation she had with Vaughn. When he glanced away, Vaughn subtly elbowed me in the side. I shoved her arm away and shot her a glare. Let's go. We don't have time to wait around. Agreed. I can't make the jump with 2 other people in tow. Not in one leap. So we'll be a few minutes behind you. Understood. Wait. Why doesn't Ari just do the other jump? I'm confused. We gathered around him as usual and Ari jumped. Wait, is this supposed to be Ari? Because this is Mara saying this. I'm confused. Whatever. Mobilizing had taken about an hour. Then getting to the underground took a few minutes thanks to Ari and Mara. Well, to the entrance. Ari couldn't teleport us directly inside. Wow, look at this, look at the background. This looks pretty wicked. I was fascinated as we walked through the crumbling passageways. Clearly man-made, or alien-made, so to speak. So old, so beautiful. I wanted to stop and admire and explore, but of course there was none of that. Every time I tried to stop and gawk, someone hurried me along. I am so finding a way to come back here, though. I don't know, Morgan. I know you're insanely curious and all that, but we don't even know the purpose behind why these things were created. Like, proceed with caution, that's all I'm saying. They would have a fight on their hands if they tried to stop me. What if you blew up the whole city, Morgan? I'm just saying. Like, what if, like, there are consequences to these things. Maybe just approach it, Anyway. But that wasn't even the best part. The best part was when we stepped through the darkened doorway to the ruins. My heart nearly stopped and my feet definitely did. I stood completely still, just staring with my heart pounding for the first time, from sheer excitement and wonder, and not because of the mission. Ron laughed. Caleb told me if I didn't start walking, he'd carry me. Yeah, that sounds like Caleb. And be careful not to use your side from here on out. I had to follow them, but I couldn't quite stop myself from peppering them with questions, because I had no idea this was what they'd meant by the underground. You're telling me this runs under the entire city? How does no one know about this? I'd heard about catacombs under Delphine, but I'd never heard about anything like it under a Dayside city. To be precise, these tunnels run under most of the continent. We're aware of similar facilities under Delphine and in the southern hemisphere. Interesting. So this isn't just even citywide. This is under the whole continent. That's fascinating. That extensive? There's no way something like this shouldn't be common knowledge. Access is strictly controlled, as you can imagine. Most official entrances are well guarded and kept out of public knowledge. And the unofficial entrances? Well, they're unofficial because we don't know about them, right? Bracel has numerous official access points, like the one we came through. But there are a few other places people seem to enter from occasionally. We seal them up when we learn about them, but this place is massive. We can't find every crack. We were already heading deep inside, but even as I followed the others, I couldn't help but look around me in sheer amazement. I thought the underground would be just a few rough tunnels or something. That's the impression I got from Vaughn. And I'd known about the ruins located under Delphine, but nothing on this scale and magnitude. It was massive, sprawling, and obviously artificial in origin. These weren't tunnels, they were corridors. And they were saying it went under the entire continent? Okay, let's stop things here. But yeah, this is really interesting, and it makes me... it brings into question a couple major things, right? I think that the first and foremost thing is, um, like, so if this runs the entire continent, what was this? A whole nother, like, city that existed before the one that has currently been established? You know, like, what? And by aliens at that? Like, what happened to the aliens? And why does it react so horribly to Psy? Um, and why hasn't the government, like specifically the Triad and stuff, like explored down here? Because you would think if they were so interested in exploring how to um, like manipulate Psy and espers and things like that. That I mean, I know this isn't exactly along the same vein, but it's adjacent. You'd think they'd want to explore down here. So yeah, that's really interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.